Hi there, this is Dr. Mort Orman, and today I'm going to continue our discussion for this week about cognitive biases. And today I'm going to talk about three particular cognitive biases. I'm going to talk about confirmation bias, pessimism bias, and something called selective perception. So again, we're talking about biases are ways that we tend to think, or particular habits of thinking or patterns of thinking that lead to distortions of reality, and which can then cause us to have stress and problems in life, and in many different ways. So what is confirmation? So what I'll do is I'll go through each of these three, tell you a little bit about what it is, and then talk a little bit about how each of them contributes or can contribute to stress in our lives. So confirmation bias is basically when you have a belief, an established belief, and you search for evidence to confirm your belief. So you keep looking for evidence or opinions or anything that would give credence to your belief. And at the same time, most of us tend to discount or not pay attention to any facts or evidence or opinions that might be contrary to our belief. So confirmation bias is a way of sort of protecting, defending the beliefs that you have, and gathering all sorts of evidence to make yourself right about the belief. Whether the belief is correct or not doesn't matter. It's the confirmation bias is the tendency to want to search for confirming evidence to make you more confident that your belief is right. Pessimism bias is a kind of an example of confirmation bias. It's a belief, or sort of an exaggerated belief. You look into the future and you overestimate the likelihood that negative things are going to happen to you. This is a very common thinking bias or thought type bias that people who are depressed have. They tend to look out into the future and go, oh my God, things are going to get worse for me. They're never going to get better. Woe is me. Life sucks. That kind of perspective. So that's what pessimism bias is. And then selective perception is where you have certain expectations, and your expectations color how you see the world, how you perceive things. And the interesting interplay between these three types of biases is they have some effect, number one, on how we establish our beliefs in the first place. So for example, selective perception can lead you to establish some faulty beliefs because you have certain expectations, you perceive the world through those filters, that leads you to certain ideas and beliefs, and then you use confirmatory bias to set out on a path of seeking evidence to reinforce those beliefs. And the pessimism bias, as we mentioned, is just one example of how that happens. If you have the thought that bad things are going to happen to you, and you constantly are trying to confirm that belief, and maybe you're only focused on negative things, so that's your selective perception, and that's how you got that belief in the first place, and then you seek out to confirm it. And sure enough, anytime something bad happens, that's going to be highlighted in your awareness, and that's going to serve as evidence. See, I told you so, that it was going to happen that way, and now I have more evidence that my pessimistic outlook was correct. So that's how these kinds of patterns and a number of other cognitive biases tend to cause us stress. They all have to do with our belief systems and how we get those belief systems in the first place, and then how we defend them and protect those belief systems from any contrary evidence. So we basically don't want to discover any holes or weaknesses in the beliefs that we feel strongly about. And to the degree that our beliefs are faulty, that tendency to want to defend our faulty beliefs is going to eventually cause us problems in life, and that's basically what we mean when we say we have stress. So when I work with people, basically when people come to me for help with their stress, I already know, before I even talk to them, before I know anything about their life story or what specific issues they're struggling with, I already know a couple things in advance. For example, I know they probably have some faulty beliefs about what stress is, and that those have been confirmed in lots of different ways by various sources, the media, any books they might have read, magazine articles they might have read, most of the stress experts they might have been exposed to. So I know they don't understand what stress is, a human phenomenon. And then I also know they probably have a whole bunch of of faulty beliefs about how life works, and whatever problems they're struggling with, underneath those problems are probably some faulty beliefs that they're tenaciously holding on to and defending and confirming, and that's what they need help with. You see, if I, as a coach, if I can't help someone see through some of the weaknesses of their beliefs and strengthen their beliefs and make them more accurate and more realistic, I'm not very effective and I'm not very helpful as a coach, and I'm not going to relieve much stress for those individuals. On the other hand, if I'm willing to do that with them, and if the person is willing to have someone help them examine their beliefs, see where they're working for them, see where they're valid, and then also be willing to be wrong about certain aspects of it, then those people usually can progress and can have great benefits and can have a lot of less stress in their lives. So these are just three of the many cognitive biases that lead us to faulty beliefs and lead us to hold on to our faulty beliefs. We'll be talking about some more next week. If you are having stress and you'd like to have someone help you discover where your beliefs might be contributing to this, or where certain ideas you might have or theories you might have may be contributing to the stress that you're struggling with, and you haven't been able to find out on your own, I'd be happy to work with you and do that. Just go to my website, docorman.com, or leave me a contact message there, and I'll be happy to get back in touch with you. So until tomorrow, talk to you later.